Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Megan, and I'm the facilitator today. We are joined by a lovely panelist from the Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, and they will be speaking to you about their specific institution. Just a few housekeeping items for you to be aware of: that the session is being recorded. So if you want to contact Dexter afterwards or hear anything from today's presentation, the recorded session will be placed on the IACAC website. Now you are muted and your videos are turned off. While you can hear and see us, we cannot hear and see you. But also know that you can ask any questions during the presentation. So please feel free to ask any questions. The Q&A feature is located at the bottom of your screen. And then Dexter, take it away.
Well, hi. Well, thank you so very much. Thank you, Megan, for all your help with this. I'm Dexter Jordan from Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, and I'm very happy to be with you this afternoon. And we have a little presentation that we want to show you. Rose-Hulman is a science, math, and engineering school located in Terre Haute, Indiana. We have a student population of around 2,200, but I'll tell you more about the school here with the presentation, and then after that I will open it up for questions and answers. And if you have questions that you want to ask in between the presentation, please feel free to do so. Rose-Hulman is a science, math, and engineering school. We are located in Terre Haute, Indiana. Student enrollment, I can get my screen to start. Okay, so my screen is not going to work for me, and it's being paused. So I will resume the share and see what happens. We have over 2,200 students that go to school at Rose-Hulman, and so we're very happy to have all of these wonderful students who are able to attend our school. The school itself has a wonderful program set up for our students, and I want you to take a look at it here. Okay, so I'm having some technical difficulties here. If you bear with me as I continue to talk about Rose-Hulman and talk about the school, we do have a wonderful program set up for our students to study engineering, science, and math. We have a lot of different things available to our students that gives them the opportunity to be involved in several different programs at the school. And we value and pride ourselves on student education. The ability to give you the information you need is through our faculty and staff. We really work very hard at helping our students to learn what they have to learn. As you can see, we are a full science, math, and engineering school. We have several different majors that we offer. We're a project-centric school. The school has been nationally recognized in several different areas. And we are very glad that we have all of these accolades, but we really are very proud of the accomplishments our students have gone under here at Rose-Hulman. The school has a 13-to-1 student faculty ratio. Average class size would be 20 students a class. And we believe in hands-on work as we work with our students, not only on the theories of what they are studying, but also on the practical work of being a Rose-Hulman student. We have a list of majors, 19 different major areas of study, small grad school, around 10 graduate students, and we have the pleasure of having 5 of our engineering majors ranked #1 in the nation. So what I'd like to do now is talk to you a bit about the admissions process. And to be admitted into Rose-Hulman, what we do is look for students that have had 4 years of English, 4 years of math, 2 years of the social sciences, a year of physics, and a year of chemistry. We want our students to be prepared for the Rose-Hulman curriculum. We don't have a grade point average minimum, but we do look for A's and B's in all the classes that you take. And the courses that you take will be important as far as your admission into Rose-Hulman. The thing that we really find exceptional for our students to participate in would be chemistry, would be having chemistry on your curriculum, having physics on your curriculum, and having biology on your classes as well. We have here some of the deadlines you can look forward to. We know that we have the early action deadline on November the 1st, and then after that you have the early action application decisions will be sent out to all of our students. Then we have the regular decision deadline of February the 15th. I'm sorry, February the 1st, and you'll know by March 15th as far as your admissions information will be concerned. We are on the Common App. We also have the Go Rose application. We have requirements of your high school transcripts, standardized test scores. Normally we would have those, but this year, due to the COVID situation, we have implemented a one-year exception to our test requirements. And so students are allowed to submit an application without the test scores. The other things we'll need will be a recommendation from the high school, and that would complete the application. You see here the admission requirements I spoke about earlier. English, math, a year each of biology, chemistry, and physics. On the right hand side, you see the SAT minimums and the ACT minimums, and those are there just for your information. Our classes are all taught by faculty, no teaching assistants, no graduate assistants at Rose-Hulman. This gives our students a great opportunity for education, to ask questions, be involved in small group discussions, and our faculty have an open door policy that allows our students the opportunity to ask questions individually of their various teachers and instructors. Our faculty are all leaders in their field. They do research, they write textbooks, and they also teach here at Rose-Hulman, and they're dedicated to undergraduate education, which makes them very special in this area. We don't just teach STEM subjects. We have available to our students a Humanity and Social Sciences department, and you can take classes there, over 15 different minors. So you can have a language, literature, art, theater, history, political science, or just any number of minors to get into, and courses to take to give yourself a well-rounded education. We have on our campus a Center for Global Engagement, and it's fantastic that you can get involved in study abroad and do various trips and various experiences overseas, and our Center for Global Engagement will help you with that. We have a Center for Diversity and Inclusion, and the Center for Diversity and Inclusion will involve working with our affinity groups, and we're 35% diverse here at Rose-Hulman, so we're very happy about that. 25% females, and we have a host of activities and speakers that come in during this time. A hallmark of Rose-Hulman is our placement rate. We will place over 98% of our graduating class each year. Our career services will work with our students in their freshman year. Each student will be assigned a personalized advisor. We work with over 350 companies per year. Our students have paid internships, co-ops, research experiences, and we even have a program here on our campus called Rose-Hulman Ventures, where students can get involved in doing research with different companies to do new product development or product improvement. Over 70% of our students will complete at least 2 internship or co-op experiences, and a large percentage, 94%, will do at least 1. We do encourage our students to do these. They are not required, but they are strongly recommended. These experiences will help our students know their craft better but also get to know the companies that they're looking at working for and to gain valuable work experience in addition to getting a pretty decent salary throughout the summer. Some of the companies that come here are quite varied, everything from Rockwell Collins to Boston Scientific, Raytheon, Rolls-Royce, GE Aviation, just a wide variety of companies for all the majors we have. Our students will make a little more money than the average Rose-Hulman, than the average starting salary for students. You can see a little bit around $23,000 more. Our students do have fun here on campus, and as my time is waning away, I want you to be sure that you have a well-rounded experience with student clubs, sports, intramurals. We have a performing arts club, and we have a cappella choir, instrumental music, ensembles, symphonies, and our students are musically talented and able to get into all of that here at Rose-Hulman. I've mentioned sports, so we have intramurals, we have varsity athletics, and this allows our students to participate in the sports that they love, but still graduate from Rose-Hulman in 4 years. We have Greek organizations on campus, Engineers Without Borders, which is wonderful, student newspaper, and our students get a chance to participate in all of these. If you have questions, I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. Here's my contact information. Should you have questions, you can reach me at Jordan, Jordan at rose-hulman.edu. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. So do you have anyone have any questions at this time that I can answer for you?
Hi, Dexter. There are currently no questions from anyone at
Okay.
the moment. So if you want to continue speaking and share your thoughts on Rose-Hulman and anything else that you would like to share.
Okay. Well, I will give some of my own personal thoughts about Rose-Hulman that our students will find interesting with accordance to the school. One of the things that I think that we do exceptionally well here is teach. And so when you're looking at the engineering, math, and science subjects and how difficult they are, this teaching venue gives our students the opportunity to learn as much information as they can in that 4-year time span. We are on the quarter system, so that gives our students the ability to get a lot of information in a short period of time. And so we are very purposeful in that, in the sense that we want our students to get the best education possible. Another thing that I like to mention about Rose-Hulman is the fact that our students do come from all walks of life. We're around 70% from outside of the state of Indiana. So you have wonderful geographic diversity here at the school, and you're able to learn all from all different walks of life and to have a lot of great experiences with students from as far away as California and New York, or down to the coast in Texas and Florida. And we have a great number of international students that attend here as well. We feel like this will give our students that experience they need to be prepared to go into a global economy and to do work that way. The last thing that I would like to mention about Rose-Hulman is the fact that it is a student-oriented school. We're one of the few schools in the nation where a student athlete is actually a student athlete, where your academics are placed before anything else. The well-being of our students is pretty important to us. And so we work extremely hard at making sure that our students are not only well educated, but well taken care of while they're here at Rose-Hulman. A lot of students will talk about the Rose-Hulman atmosphere, the family atmosphere that we have. And that is something that is done on purpose because we want our students to belong here, to have a sense of pride when they leave and being a Rose-Hulman engineer. So if there are any students who are interested in attending Rose-Hulman, we'd be so very happy to have you to come down and visit our school and have an opportunity to see what we have to offer as an institution.
Great. Can you talk a little bit, Dexter, about the admissions process? I know you said you gave some deadlines about regular decision and potentially early action. Can you talk about any essays that you may have that students are required to complete, and anything regarding SAT scores or ACT scores that you're doing for this fall admission cycle?
Sure, I most certainly can do that. Well, to talk about what happens with SAT, first the SAT and the ACT scores. This year, we are really going to be lenient with we're one of those schools that's going to allow you to apply without submitting a score. So it becomes pretty important that you have a chance to see what you can turn into as far as your grades are concerned with your high school transcript. Now, your application process is going to be crucial this year, not only for Rose-Hulman, but for our other schools. And that when you fill out your application, I'm going to strongly suggest you fill it out completely and don't leave any blanks unless it is an area that does not pertain to you. When you do or turn in a resume, and we do require a resume for our to go along with the application, you need to make the resume one that tells the school, especially the Rose-Hulman, just a little bit about yourself. Just give us something outside of the numbers that will allow us to make a decision about your admission and make the best decision we can. And to do that, we need to know just a little bit more about you as a person. We have a lot of students who will have perfect test scores, and a lot of students who will turn in a grade point average that is 4.33 and higher on a weighted scale. And so to help the students understand that and to give you some background on test scores and everything that's needed to be turned in, we would like to have that additional information. You can see that we do require the SAT and ACT regularly, but it is not one of those things that we are going to have this year. Now, a question is asked about scholarships, and you can see here our minimums. These are not what we will have for scholarship recommendations. If a student has taken the test score and they turn it in, they can't use that test score to compete for scholarships. We will use the test scores only to help the students, not to hurt them. And so you see the minimums, and we have an average on the ACT of 32 on the English and 31 on the math. And this year, the freshman on the SAT did a 650 on the EBRW and 710 on the math. So you see that we get totally different from what we asked for on the two tests, the SAT and the ACT. But it does become important that our students understand the difference between the application process now, because they may have heard other people talk about that they've turned their applications in and their test scores, and they have a lot of opportunity to show where they had perfect scores. And now with everyone going test optional, schools are looking for something that really sets students apart. And the main thing will be your essay. The second hint that I want to give you will be your recommendation. When you are getting people to recommend you for various schools, first make sure they put the correct school down, that they don't have you applying to Rose-Hulman and then have down like a Harvey Mudd or even a Wake Forest, that they put Rose-Hulman down as the school you're applying to. Then the second thing that I think is very important is that you have a recommender or someone, a reference that is going to talk or speak to certain traits you have, your leadership traits, your ability to work with people. Have you had any obstacles you had to overcome? All of these things are going to play a role in students who are able to do well in admissions and with the admissions process. And so we think that's going to be pretty important, not only for admissions, but also for scholarships.
So speaking of scholarships, Dexter, can you talk a little bit about if Rose-Hulman requires a student either to complete a FAFSA or the CSS profile, or is there an institutional application students can complete at Rose-Hulman?
Sure, we could talk about scholarships. We do not have a requirement for a student to fill out the FAFSA or the institutional profiles, but we do strongly recommend that you do the FAFSA. And I always would tell students to fill out a FAFSA just to make sure that they have that base covered when it comes to their education. We do have scholarships that are available to our incoming freshman class, and the scholarships will be based on exactly what we use for admissions. And then we'll be taking a deeper look at those resumes that we talked about earlier, resumes and your recommendations and the essays that you turn in. All those things will play a role in the scholarship deciding. And then our students will have the opportunities to compete for several other scholarships here at the school. We have merit awards that are automatically awarded to our incoming freshman class each year, but you don't have to apply for those awards. You can just go ahead and submit your application, and once you're admitted, the information is sent to financial aid and you'll be automatically given those awards. And then we also will have scholarships, and those you will have to apply for. And they can be as small as 5,000 or as large as 30,000. But students will have the opportunity to apply for those scholarships and then compete for the scholarship monies. This year, we are in the second year of the Novelist Scholars Program. The Novelist Scholars Program is one that's set up to give our students additional activities surrounding various areas. You'll have alumni that will come in and work with these students. They will have additional coursework that they'll complete with this program. And of course, this goes along with some additional funding for their education. So it's a very lucrative program in terms of the experience that the students will receive to go along with all of the rich experiences they have here at Rose-Hulman. The last thing I want to mention as far as scholarships are concerned, well, the last two things. One, on our website, you will find a return on investment page where you can actually see your return on investment as it boils down to what type of scholarships money you may receive based on your grade point average test scores and income. And then our scholarships are 4-year scholarships. So once a student receives a scholarship amount from us, if they get a $30,000 scholarship, they'll have $30,000 each year to budget with. So it's not a one-time deal. You'll have the opportunity to budget with that scholarship money and use it all 4 years here.
Great. Thank you so much about that information. Can you talk a little bit about student life and the different organizations that are on campus? I know you talked a little bit earlier, but what are some of your biggest student organizations that you potentially have on campus? And where do your students come from? So if you're located in Indiana, do you have a lot of students that come out of state versus international? That as well.
Okay, sure. The students that come to Rose-Hulman actually come from various parts of the country. Like I mentioned earlier, we are 70% from outside of the state of Indiana. And so this gives our students a chance to mingle with several other students from various portions of the country. The majority of our students will come from the Midwest wheel. So we have a lot of students from Illinois, Michigan, and Ohio. But students are always surprised to see we have a healthy contingent of students from California and from Texas and Florida. So this gives us that rich feel here on campus of several different types of students with several different types of ways of solving problems and several different ideas. The school as far as extracurricular activities is concerned. I mentioned earlier that we have over 90 different clubs and organizations, and the performing arts have been pretty big here at Rose-Hulman. It gives our students an opportunity to get involved in some of them and things that they've never done before, and some of them in things that they're well experienced with. And so they really do enjoy the performing arts here. I talked about the number of clubs. We have over 90 different clubs and student organizations on campus, and students can get involved in any number of different things at Rose-Hulman, from automotive opportunities. We have racing teams, and where they do a GPX car each year, and we have 2 robotic teams and design, build, fly competition team, and then we will have the students who are interested in civil engineering compete with the concrete canoe contest, and just a lot of great activities that the students can participate in so that they can have some fun outside of the classroom. And it's really important for our students to be involved in these extracurricular activities because it gives them a chance to relax, unwind, and have some fun while they're here. Students that are in our music program are happy that they can participate without the usual music pressure. And so there is no pressure placed on our students, either in music, vocal, or instrumental, or the drama clubs for that matter. It just gives you a chance to have some fun and really enjoy yourself and really participate in things that you may not have normally had a chance to participate in college. Athletically, we're in the Heartland Conference, and we have been pretty good as far as athletics are concerned. The school itself has, in the last few years, over 130 academic All-Americans. I think as far as streaks go, that's one of the best streaks in the nation. And our student recreational center is one that people are always surprised to see. They're always surprised to see that we have this great facility for our athletic teams, and many engineering schools wouldn't have something that grand for their students, but we do. And we want them to have a good athletic experience while they're here. And so this gives them that opportunity to do so. Just because they're smart, that means they aren't competitive, and so they like to win. So we've been the conference champion as far as the most wins and the most league championships across the sports for the Heartland Conference for a couple of years here now. So it's not only a nice, well-rounded program, but also pretty competitive. So you get a chance to get involved in that. Our Greek organizations, around 35% of our students are Greek here on the campus. It's a nice setup for the students to get involved in. The Greek organizations will do projects, and they'll do different events here on campus. They'll also do some work with some nonprofit organizations, do fundraising. They'll go and help clean houses in different areas and help with the development of the students through tutoring and helping them with the math and science homework. So they not only are Greek organizations that have fun, they also have a lot of give back, and they give back to the community. The Engineers Without Borders Club is probably one of my favorites due to the fact that they will go overseas or will go down to South America and work with different countries and helping them with building everything from irrigation systems to sewer systems as kind of a give back to the world in that regard. And students who are interested in that can work through our civil engineering department with Dr. John Adu as far as being involved with Engineers Without Borders. And once again, I want to give my contact information so that you'll have it in case you missed it on the first time through.
Great. Thank you so much, Dexter. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you.
Again, the session was recorded, so if you would like to hear anything that Dexter shared today or see his contact information, you absolutely can find that. It will be on the IACAC website in about a week, so give it some time, but the recording will be available to you. Dexter, thank you so much for all of this great information, and have a great rest of your afternoon.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.